Before we begin, I have some major props to give to Mr. Jordan Peele. It's impressive enough for an actor who works primarily in television to break into the film industry, but for somebody to not only break into the industry, but direct their first feature-length movie shortly afterwards, that's something else entirely. Alright, props over, here's the review. Get Out is a new suspenseful film and the directorial debut of Jordan Peele from the comedic duo Key and Peele about an interracial couple played by Daniel Kaluuya and Allison Williams who decide that it's about time for him to meet her parents. Only thing is, her parents seem kind up front, but every other black person that Daniel Kaluuya comes in contact with is acting extremely strange, so he starts to believe that something more sinister is happening underfoot. Now, as far as directorial debuts go, this was a pretty phenomenal introduction. It has problems for sure, but we can get to those later. But if we're gonna start with some positives, the intrigue in this movie is really what keeps it going. Get Out was marketed as a horror, but down to its core, it's really a mystery. You don't have any information except for what the main characters discover, and even then, when one question's answered, 5 more pop up. It keeps the movie fun and interesting, and whenever the horror elements do pop up, they're effectively creepy because of the information you have and also the information that you haven't even received yet. I have to tip my hat to the cast. Everybody in here did a fine job, but there were 3 in particular that impressed me. Starting out with Daniel Kaluuya and Allison Williams. They were the perfect contrast for each other. Daniel Kaluuya was very quiet most of the time. Allison Williams was this really crass, foul-mouthed girl. And honestly, I began to like her a lot. And then we have the person who's gonna haunt my nightmares for the next couple of days. Betty Gabriel. She wasn't only really creepy, her performance was really great too. But if I'm gonna be honest, the thing that surprised me the most was how much this film attacked racism. It really pulled no punches. It's as if Jordan Peele looked directly at the screen and said, hey, yeah, we've progressed as a society, but our racism level is still up here. It's important to do, and it needs to be put in a well-written screenplay so it can get the message across. But unfortunately, that's where my problems begin, because even though the dialogue for the most part is very well written, there were several points where I was thinking to myself, well, that could have been tightened up, that felt a little off pace. Speaking of off pace, the first 15-20 minutes felt a little choppy. Slow build-up is important for a good horror movie for sure, but this honestly felt like more of the same. Just build-up for build-up's sake. The movie was actually surprisingly funny too, but the kind of satirical comedy that Key and Peele was known for is sprinkled in throughout the entire runtime. And it's certainly not for everybody, but I found it hysterical. Mr. Peele has made a mark for himself because Get Out isn't just a great horror movie, it's an impressive movie by a first-time director, and I can't wait to see what he does next. And I will say that Get Out is a good casual watch. But as always, it's not what I say, but what you say that matters. So have you already seen Get Out, and what did you think of it? Leave a comment down below telling me your thoughts. And if you like what I had to say, and you want to see more, click right there and subscribe and become part of the fray of nerds who love cinema. You all have a fantastic day.